That's so cute. Oh, I should get some of these for the house. Hey, Pumpkin. What's wrong? Are you hurt? Hey, where's Daddy? Did something happen to Daddy? Hey, look at me, baby. What happened? Are you hurt? No? Then what's wrong, love? Oh, love. Of course, Daddy and I are not getting a divorce. Why would you ask something like that? Because why? Because Daddy's crying? Oh, baby, come here. Come here. Look at me, Pumpkin. Your father and I are very, very fulfilled. And you, Pumpkin, you bring us so much joy. Being your mom alone brings me so much joy. And Daddy and I are not going anywhere. Understand? Come here. Okay. Now tell me, what happened outside with Daddy? You asked Daddy what? You asked Daddy why he's crying outside? Oh, that's very considerate of you, Pumpkin. Then what happened? Then Daddy gave you a hug? Well, that's great, baby. That's wonderful. Anything happen after that? He told you he's okay and to come see me? Okay. Well, baby, there's nothing wrong with that. Why? Do you think Daddy's mad at you or something? Yeah? Okay. I see. Hey, baby, look at me, love. Daddy is very, very proud of you. And he loves you so much. And hey, look at me. Daddy is not mad at you. Understand? Yes? Can I give you a hug? It's okay, baby. You're okay. You're better than okay. How do I know? Because I'm your mother. And I love you very, very much. That's right, baby. I love Daddy very much, too. Yes, and Daddy loves me very much, too. Yes, baby. Very, very much. You want to know something? Our love for each other is so great that it made you. It did, Pumpkin. Your father and I love each other so much that we were overflowing with love. Overflowing is when you remember that time you poured water into your cup but you weren't sure when to stop. And remember how the water started spilling over the cup onto the kitchen counter and the floor? Yeah, it made a huge mess, huh? Well, baby, that's what overflowing is. Yes, it means spilling over. Daddy and I, our love for each other was spilling over so much that it did something very magical. It created you. Yes, it did, pumpkin. You want to know a secret, though? The reason why Daddy and I made you, the reason Daddy and I love each other so much is that we learned how to love ourselves on our own first. Yes, love, we did. How do we do that? Well, we just figured it out. But honestly, love, it was the hardest thing both of us have ever had to learn. Actually, it's the hardest thing to learn for each and every person on this earth. Why? Well, loving yourself fully, completely, unconditionally. Can you say that? Unconditionally. Great job. It's a pretty big word, huh? What does unconditionally mean? It means loving someone regardless of who they are, what they look like, where they're from, how they talk, how they dress, and even if they don't love you back, even if you don't understand them. You're right, baby. It doesn't sound that hard, huh? But it's actually one of the hardest things to do in the world. Well, when someone's different from you, or when you think someone's different from you, it can seem a little frightening at first because you don't get them fully. And if you don't get them fully, you don't really want to get to know them. You know, you might kind of be too scared to get to know them just because you don't understand them. And, you know, it just kind of creates this distance between you and another person. So if you don't take the time to get to know a person, how could you get to know how to love a person, right? Learning to love other people, if you don't know how to love yourself first, is pretty hard. That's right, pumpkin. Truth is, if someone doesn't know how to love themselves correctly, they can't really know how to love someone else correctly. People don't know how to love themselves because it's also scary to love yourself fully on your own without holding on to anyone or anything. It's kind of like walking through the dark without a flashlight. Actually, it's more like walking through the woods at night without a flashlight. You know, not being able to see what's in front of you. And the only help you have is this voice. Well, the voice, it's this quiet. It can sometimes be kind of loud, but it's a quiet, often quiet, loving, very bold voice that tells you exactly what to do and what not to do. This voice, baby, is your truth. Yes, love, your truth. And the only one that can hear it is you. Well, baby, it may not sound that hard, but it's extremely difficult and even scary at times. And for some can take a whole lifetime to learn. I'm not trying to discourage you or anything. I'm just I'm just keeping it real. Mama's being 100% honest with you right now. Why does it take a whole lifetime sometimes? Well, so many people, including Daddy and I, we relied on listening to other people's voices instead of our own. Like, we had to make sure that people believed in us first before we believed in ourselves, or we wanted to make sure that people believed in what we were doing before we did. And sometimes we needed approval from other people first before making any decisions, like any big decisions. Well, because neither of us believed in ourselves. We didn't believe in ourselves, and we didn't fully love or know how to fully love ourselves at that time in our life. What do? Well, we both got to a point in our life way before Daddy and I ever met. But we just got both to a point in our life where we had just had enough. We were tired of the way we were living. We were both so unhappy that we were done lying to ourselves. We didn't want to hurt ourselves anymore, you know? We were done pleasing other people, and we were done looking for people to give us what we weren't willing to give ourselves. Well, we chose to do something that most people won't do, or just don't want to do because they're too scared, or they don't realize that they need to, in some areas of their life. But we chose to get to know our shadows, baby. And we talk about that all the time in this house, don't we? Daddy and I chose to get to know our shadows. The big shadows, the small shadows, the scary shadows, and even the shadows that we barely see. We made friends with them. And every single shadow taught us something new about ourselves. Most importantly, our shadows taught us how to love the places inside us that needed it the most. What happened is we started respecting ourselves more, because it takes a lot of work, a lot of commitment, and a lot of patience to get to know your shadows. They don't just come all popping out at one time. But the cool thing is that your shadows, they want to get to know you. But because they can seem so creepy, they're often overlooked and never loved. Yeah, that is kind of sad, huh, baby? I know, shadows need love. They need lots of love, lots of attention, lots of care. Yes, you are totally right, my love. This whole process is pretty tiring, because you're walking a road that no one's meant to walk on except you. But you rest, you reflect, and you release a little, and you just keep going. What's release? Well, release is where you let go of something. You let go of it because you no longer need it. And sometimes finding that out can be pretty painful. Yeah, it's almost like you've been lying to yourself for a long time, or you believed a lie for a long time. And see, pumpkin, when we release things, it sometimes comes out in the form of tears. Yes, baby, it does. You know how we love the rain? And we always say that's Mother Earth just washing all the old away, all the dirt away. Yeah. Well, that's how it works inside our body too. Yes, baby. When we cry, it's like raining our insides. You are so cute. So you see, that's what you saw when you saw Daddy crying. He's releasing some feelings. He's releasing some feelings that he no longer needs. He's releasing feelings that need to go and they need to move on to their next big adventure. Yes, baby. Sometimes it can take a while. Others are pretty quick, but more intense. And often, the deeper you go, the more tears come out. Yes, baby, more rain. Why do more tears come out? You are asking so many questions. But this is awesome. I love having these conversations with you. Well, imagine, Pumpkin, holding on to something like one of your toys, okay? One of your favorite toys. Imagine holding on to it for so long with your hands and your fingers start to cramp, but you don't want to let go because it hurts too much to open and move your hands and fingers. Yes, it's like they morphed into a different shape. So imagine trying to pry these hands of yours loose and Daddy and I helping you while you're crying because it hurts so much. Yes. Oh, what was I saying? Oh, thanks, Pumpkin. I was talking about releasing and how sometimes it's more intense than others. Crying, releasing. Oh, yeah, well. Okay, yeah, okay. Well, even though at times it hurts, love was sometimes scary and we often felt lonely, we continued to keep going. We kept listening to our heart because every time we listened, our life kept getting better and better. Life kept feeling lighter, softer, and more grounded. It's like we started to see love everywhere, in everyone and everything. The heart just knew what to do, and it always does. It knows what to look for in ourselves that needed to be acknowledged, embraced, cleansed, released, and loved. That's what Daddy and I learned, Pumpkin. We learned that our heart was our North Star. We look at the North Star all the time, huh? At night. Yes, our heart was our North Star, but for various reasons, we were too afraid to follow it. The cool thing is, Daddy and I began to realize that our hearts were leading us to each other. That's right, baby. Like magnets. Pretty cool, huh? Hey, want to know something? Once I knew your father was my one and only. I knew your father's name before I knew his face. That's right. I've been kind of a nerd. Yes. In my own special way. But I've been kind of a nerd for knowing the meaning of a person's name because the energy behind the words are very important. We talk about that all the time in this house too, don't we? Well, I'll tell you what I did. Since I knew your father's name before I knew his face, when I knew he was the one day I decided to look up the meaning of his name. And after I read it, I thought, wow. Why? Well, baby, your father's name means loved by many. And growing up, Nana, my mommy, would always tell me that I am loved by many. That's why Daddy and I always tell you, You are loved and you are love. Yes, baby. That's why. Pretty cool, huh? I think it's magical too. There's Daddy. Hey, my love. I'm proud of you. Aren't we, Pumpkin? We're proud of Daddy. Huh? You're proud of us? Shoot, we're proud of you too, Pumpkin. Oh, we were just talking about loving ourselves and loving each other and how I knew your name before I knew your face. I love you too. Okay, we'll stop, Pumpkin. I know. But one of these days, when you're with your love, you'll be doing the same thing. No? Okay. Hey, you two. How about we go out for pizza and ice cream and then come home and watch a movie? Sound good? Okay. All right, where do you guys want to go have pizza? Oh, yeah, let's go check out the place. Hey, and we're ordering chicken, bacon, pineapple. I said what I said.